Hey everyone, welcome to another Anime Kingdom manga review. See by the title below, yes, this is on chapter 222 of Shokugeki no Soma. And pretty much this chapter, from what we saw, of course, in the last chapter, we knew that it was going to be a chapter that was focused on why Megishima decided to team up with the rebels. Especially considering how we saw the last chapter end, with him pretty much flat out saying no to Soma, and with, of course, during the battle, Rindo pretty much saying that she was surprised that he was so fired up and really trying his best to in this competition, when normally he doesn't really like Shokugekis, he doesn't really like competition and stuff like that. And so that was why I was really interested in seeing this chapter, especially considering we didn't really know much about him overall at all, really. We just knew that he was the third seat, so it was nice to see now that we pretty much know the stories of all the rest of the rebels, but Megishima was the only one that we didn't really know. And like I said before this competition started, I was kind of sad that they didn't really focus much on his cooking, but we saw that more in the last chapter, and in this chapter we finally get to see more backstory and learn more about his character overall, which it turns out when he left, of course, the school, he pretty much travels around Japan, and all the ramen shops he goes and helps them out, and all of a sudden everyone in Japan is calling him young master or boss. And honestly, it was pretty funny. Like, some of them were like, what the hell is going on? I'd be like that too, honestly. And it seems that the way he became the third seat is that he just, like, as people sent challenges over and over again, he just did them. He didn't really care, he didn't really want to do them, yet he still, with that kind of mentality, was able to get to the third seat. That is honestly unreal. That is pretty damn crazy. It's kind of like Rindo in a way, with how she became the second seat, and in a lot of ways you see that she doesn't really care too much as well before this point, but you see why she ends up wanting to do it, and why she's so serious in this one, and normally she doesn't really care as much with her carefree personality. And we see also as well why Megishima is trying so hard as well in this one, which of course we find out that the reason why he decided to change his mind, we already knew it was because of Soma, but we didn't know exactly what Soma did to change his attitude and change his mind towards this competition. And it turns out that he pretty much challenges him, and something in his eye gets Megishima to accept that challenge when normally he wouldn't, and they pretty much go at it over and over and over again, and he's pretty much just destroying Soma. There is a huge gap in their skills when it comes to ramen, also because he literally is the ramen master. You have ramen like shops all around Japan calling him young master and boss. That is honestly pretty damn crazy. And he was the third seat without really even trying. So you definitely know that there's a huge skill gap between Soma and him at the moment. And you can see that even though Soma has so much tenacity and everything, he finally he probably just pretty much just falls asleep at his feet when he says one more fight, one more battle. But it's pretty much what changes his mind is not just his tenacity, it's the fact that the reason why he's doing this, the reason why someone wants to do this, is not just because he wants to save his friends, but because he thinks that what the Central is doing with taking away the freedom of all the different dishes, all the different ways of cooking, is wrong. He wants everything to be free. He wants everyone to have their freedom to choose how they cook this certain dish, choose how to cook this certain dish, and for there to be pretty much just different things that he can try from all these different chefs. And obviously that's a huge impact on Megishima, because what he wants is all these ramen shops and everything not to be suppressed. He doesn't want them to be pretty much forced into changing their ways and doing it either Central's way, or pretty much just it's over, you're no longer a cook. And he doesn't want that to happen either. So it kind of coincides with what, of course, Soma them are trying to do as well. And of course, obviously, it's because of how Soma acted as well, which ends up changing his mind, to which of course we see at the very end that is why he pretty much is trying super hard in this competition, when normally he doesn't really care for competition at all. So overall, it definitely gives me a different view of Megishima. It's sad because this, out of all the matches, this one is the one that, like, I'm kind of like kind of on the edge of who I want. I love Rindo's character. I love the backstory that they gave her as well. But Megishima is such a bro. He's such an awesome guy as well. From what we see in this chapter, that I honestly kind of want him to win for what he's fighting for. With Rindo, she doesn't really have the same thing that he's trying to, save, trying to protect, trying to pretty much, he's, because of Soma, he's changing his, his whole pretty much attitude on how he pretty much, after this point, he still probably wouldn't want to do competition, because he feels that what you should be doing is to, make it so that the customer is satisfied. That is it. There should be no competition between each other and all that kind of stuff, and that's why he never wanted competition before. But because of Soma, he changes his mind, and that's where we get him right now in this tournament, in this Shokugeki. And honestly, it just, seeing both backstories of Rindo and Megishima just has me so hyped up to see how the rest of this battle is going to go. Because, I mean, like I said before, it's kind of, I have a feeling the way that the other battles are going to go is kind of exactly how I think it is. So this is the one that I'm kind of teetering on the edge. I'm not too sure. Rindo is really, really good. But Megishima is also really good as well. And maybe he could have, taken the second and first seed if he really wanted to. We don't really know at that moment, which creates this kind of, I'm not too sure on who's going to win this battle. Which is, obviously something that I've always enjoy when we don't really know if it's a for sure thing, not like some of the Shokugekis that we have seen before. So yeah, that's all I really gotta say, guys. Definitely excited to see how the next chapters will go from here, who will win between the third seed and the second seed. I'm still leaning towards probably Rindo, but I would not be mad or disappointed if Megishima won instead. So that's all I gotta say, guys. So if you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy it, leave a like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And as always, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. How did you feel about this chapter? Good, bad? What do you think? Who do you think's gonna win? Feel free to comment below your thoughts on that. I always love to hear what you guys think as well after you heard what I thought. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. So till next time, guys, see ya.